Welcome to Ixtapa, Mexico. Ixtapa is a tourist development located adjacent to the small fishing town of Zihuatanejo. Keep in mind that Ixtapa is an example of old Mexico, meaning that this is not Cancun, and I would never recommend Ixtapa to a first-time Mexico visitor. However, experienced international travelers will enjoy the natural beauty and small-town feel that Ixtapa and Zihuatanejo offer. Now with that being said, allow me to introduce you to the Barcelo Ixtapa Beach Hotel. Like most hotels in the area, this hotel was built in the late 70s and has not really been updated since. However, it does provide a nice vacation experience. Here you can see the lobby, as full as it normally is. The Barcelo features an atrium-style lobby, which brings pros and cons. Obviously, the pros are a nice open space that you can enjoy, but the cons are noise being echoed up to the guest rooms. Now, we were in what's known as a family suite. The family suites are tucked away in two smaller buildings, kind of hidden behind some trees. These buildings are former condo buildings. I actually remember when I was visiting this property many years ago, not staying here, they used to harass people to buy these condos. Evidently, they failed. People staying in these family suites should be aware that getting to your room may mean tackling 4 or 5 flights of stairs in the dark, as they don't seem to like turning the lights on in these buildings until they absolutely have to. Electricity is very expensive in Mexico. Before I move on to the room, I'd like to apologize for the excessive messiness. We were getting ready to pack up before we left, and that is rather evident. There is a bathroom immediately to the left as you enter the room. Notice that a complimentary shampoo and shower gel are dispensed. Actually, public bathroom style soap dispensers. I really like that. The plumbing was less than stellar, though. The small living room area was completed with 2 couches that can also be used as beds. I slept on one of them for the whole trip, and it actually wasn't as uncomfortable as you'd think, because these couches are actually mattresses. It was a very creative idea, and the view was beautiful. You can get a real workout struggling with the patio door. I don't think this thing's been oiled since they built the place. And I couldn't quite figure out why the step was designed so stupidly. I mean, there's practically not even enough room to get your foot through. So, you have to be careful with this one in the dark, but once you kind of stumble your way out and climb down the stairs, there's a nice outdoor jacuzzi. It's pretty old, it kind of sounds like a diesel engine when it's running, but it's a nice touch either way. And the view, once again, is wonderful. Moving on to restaurants, at the bottom of the atrium lobby was the main buffet restaurant. This restaurant serves breakfast and dinner, and is always open when you want to eat there. The other restaurants are restricted. The nicest restaurant on site is supposedly the Don Quixote restaurant, although because we're really not that into Spanish cuisine, we never ate in this restaurant. The La Papilla restaurant is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and this is where we used both of our a la carte dinners. Obviously, the breakfast and lunch are unlimited. The poolside snack bar is open just for lunch, and it's a pretty good place if you just want to grab a hamburger or something. The main pools here appear to have been recently refurbished, but keep in mind these things get loud and rowdy during the day. Between the loud music and screaming kids, we tended to stay toward the other pool. This other pool is hidden behind the family suite buildings, but is open for anyone to use and tends to be much quieter. There's also no shortage of things to do here. There's also a doctor available 24 hours a day. If for some reason you're holding a convention in Ixtapa, Mexico, they do have a nice convention center with an adjacent banquet hall that's actually quite big. But if your business takes you on the internet, beware, a week can run over $80 here. But of course, if you're in Mexico for the reason that most of us come to Mexico, the beach is beautiful. Overall, I would recommend the Barcelo to anyone traveling to Ixtapa. It was probably the nicest hotel I've ever stayed in this destination. So, lastly, I'd just like to say, happy travels.